This morning is like one of those adventure games. A storm-tossed tree blocks your path. What will you do? Good morning. That was loud. Thought this would be a good spot to start this next video. I'm walking around Onondaga Lake, or as best as you can in 2025. This is where I ended the last video, right by Pleasant Beach, an old resort that was here. And we're gonna walk further down to the southern tip of this lake today, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Let's go. So I have this old map here of Syracuse, and there's Onondaga Lake right here. I'm going to kind of point out where we are. Pleasant Beach is right there, and I parked right down there with a G in Fairgrounds. That's where the DEC boat launch is. We're going to show some of the hopeful signs for the future. A lot of wildlife. This morning I parked down there by the DEC boat launch and walked all this way. So it's a hot morning. This trail is really popular. I'll let you know I'm the only person on it in a button-down shirt as we speak. There's a lot of wildlife that we're going to see today. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited for this one, even more than the last video. I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of nice little areas to sit out here. You can even chain up your bike. You can have a picnic. You could bike through here. It's funny, as I was researching this, I found that there are a lot of really interesting things that happened over the past 100 years since this was like a resort area. Some of the things are scary, unbelievable. There's so many interesting things to see and do and learn about on this one lake. So this is just about the closest we get to 690 on this trail. It's very loud over here. I kind of just wanted to show you this bridge that they have going over a creek that leads into Onondaga Lake. They did a nice job on this bridge. It's really beautiful. I'm gonna walk over it right now. You can see Liverpool across the lake right there. I'm gonna get away from this road. There's a sign across the trail over there. Welcome to the Onondaga Lake Park West Shore Trail Extension. Warning you to stay on the trail because it's built on former Allied signal settling basins. And then over here, dedication plaque to this bridge in memory of Michael F. Savage, husband, father, son, brother, passionate alumni of the Southside Parochial Schools and Basketball League. He managed construction of the restored environment, 9 Mile Creek, forested wetlands, and the bike trail corridor. Inspirationally kind and loyal. He's an articulate and thorough engineering professional. And it says in the quote here down here, "Dad collected friends like others collect wealth." It's nice. It's nice dedication. There's a giant gate here that they can close. This is the Empower Amphitheater at Lakeview. Okay, I see it in the distance over there. But the Lakeview name isn't like something new that they came out with. It's actually a place that was here. And it's really strange. You might notice that something's different on this side of the lake. And there's two things that we're going to point out before we even see the amphitheater. First is a old resort that used to be here. It was called Lakeview. You can kind of see it was just a house, but really popular place. Enough to be noted on maps, things like that. Now it's quite different. I'm going to take a look at the old map I printed out and show you why it's really different. So by chance, I found this map after looking for probably 5 or 6 years because I've been kind of interested in this. And the interesting thing is it has topographical lines, so you can see how the elevation changed around the lake back when this map was printed. And this is from probably the 19th century, around there. back when, you know, those resorts were here. So that's the part right there that we're going to really pay attention to, where it says Lake View. And that was that house, basically. And you'll notice around the map, like if you've been to Oakwood Cemetery, you can see Oakwood down here, all the brown lines. That means the change in elevation. This is escarpment, drumlins, a lot of hills through Syracuse. The one place that didn't have hills was over here by Lakeview and where the orange parking lot is for the fair. But if you look now, well, there's hills now, and that's because Allied, that's all they process. They use this as their dumping grounds. This area, as a matter of fact, 80 feet of waste is here. So when we look at this picture of this old resort that was here, it was actually like more like down lower by 80 feet. We bury our history in Syracuse. That's what we do. If you want to see more buried history, check out our video on the Amboy Airport. We're going to walk through the amphitheater here. I've never been to the amphitheater, even for a concert, which sounds funny, right? I'm so interested in the area, but I haven't been to our most amazing concert venue. I mean, besides the Landmark Theater. Get to see this today, and there's 3 more places that we're gonna kind of look at. So such a beautiful day. I mean, look at this. If you're interested in restrooms while you're out here, here's the dates and times. These are run by the county. And there's this one and one on the other side. Someone singing over there. Interesting view of the amphitheater right here. Their facilities behind. The guy singing still. And the lake. Yeah, we were way out there. We've done this whole thing. You can see the thruway out in the distance, way out there behind that tree, that smaller tree. Yeah, not a bad seat in the house, really. Look at that. It's quite different versus the traffic that we started with. I love how they'll always have pictures of boats out on the lake when there's a concert going on. If you've been to a concert here, if you're watching, leave a comment down below. Which concert did you see? Was it good? It's going to be the busy part of the summer coming up. The fair is just starting as I'm recording this, this Wednesday. It's coming Wednesday. Some lawn seating. Keep walking here. It's actually a little offshoot to the trail. I'm going to take that just to take a nice look at the lake today. So if you're not from around Onondaga County, you might say, well, obviously you can't have like a huge 80-foot hill in front of a lake, but I'll beg to differ. We do have glacial lakes up here. Green Lakes is a really popular place, and if you haven't been near a glacial lake, when the glaciers receded, they left gouges in the earth so that there are huge ravines. And honestly, this was no different than any of those lakes, on this side at least, but it always was a curiosity because those lakes aren't flat on the other side. Yeah, here's that section with the benches. I kind of go down this way. I have some nice lighting through here on this side of the trail. Some solar panel lighting. Yeah, look at this. This is pretty far down here. You can kind of see. I'm just gonna face the camera outwards. That's about the horizon line, and you can see how much, how far down it goes. A ton of waterfowl in the lake right there. It really opens up out here. Oh wow! Oh, what is this? Holy moly! What in the heck? I didn't know all this was here. See Syracuse in the distance over there. Kind of center screen. Got the Money Tower and the dome. I still call it the Money Tower. AXA Tower. See a little triangle off that way. That's the mall, Destiny USA. Looking north here. So just about where we started, there's the old yacht club. Some very furious seagulls behind me. There's that trail. And so this is a peninsula where Lakeview Amphitheater is. And the Lakeview Resort was, well, named Lakeview probably because of this amazing view. I mean, look at this. And today, 80 feet of this calcium bicarbonate that Solvay processed dumped from their soda ash manufacturing. They started dumping in the 1880s, and by 1915 the resort was closed. Very sad. So it's funny, I was just heading up the hill to show you the next place that I wanted to point out here. It was called White City, and it was named for the lights, the electric lights that it had on the rides, and it glowed at night. It was one of the main draws of the area. They had a ride called Shoot the Chutes. You were in a boat and there was a lift hill, kind of go down Amazon River type style, one of those big log flumes that they have nowadays, kind of like that, but 110 years ago. And as I was walking up the hill, I was like, well, where was that place? I looked in the map, and well, it's basically here. They also had a little roller coaster, a few other things. Okay, so the one thing I wanted to point out about this location for White City is it doesn't make sense to me, and there are conflicting maps. And the location of White City changes from here to closer to the city on different maps. The conflicting information online is kind of distressing, I'll put it that way. But that being said, I'm going to show you the yacht club, and then I'm going to show you the other location that this other map online thinks White City was located in. So every so often, if you even look on satellite view on Google Maps, you can see like the remnants of docks, things like that. So this could have been a dock here for Lakeview at one point. You can kind of see the squared off area underneath the water. Water's kind of low right now. I'll be honest, it does not smell out here like I thought it would. There's a little residue here on the rocks, but it smells like a lake overall. I think if you walked out here, you wouldn't even know, if you didn't know the history of this lake, the somewhat recent history of the lake, you probably wouldn't realize that it was really polluted at one point. Alright, you guys know how I like informational signs. There's one right here. Artist's rendering of new Onondaga Lake wetlands. So we have wetland restoration, kind of showing these points down here. improved green spaces for wildlife, upland restoration, and underwater habitat, improved conditions for fish. And this is part of the Onondaga Lake cleanup, western shoreline. We were just down there. That's kind of where we were, more or less. This is kind of overlook of this area. So these plants have grown considerably since. Right behind me, another little rest area, some benches. I like that. This is nice. Okay, that's the way back to the amphitheater. We're walking this direction. Look at this orange wall with a fence on top. And now I'm gonna head over a little bit to kind of where they say the yacht club was. We do have a yacht club now, but it's over in Liverpool on the other side of the lake. It was moved from here after this one that was on this side of the lake burned down, and that's where Syracuse University would practice their rowing over here. That's the orange parking lot for the New York State Fair, just so you know where we are. I'm just walking out here right next to the orange parking lot still. There's a long parking lot. If you're ever thinking of just coming through here, oh, I could get a little, trailway through these thistles and whatnot, you might want to rethink that, because I'm not sure if this is just a sign to keep people out, but I wouldn't want to mess around with that. And they're serious about getting this back in shape. Here's a sign: restricted area, keep back eagle nesting area. I just wanted to point out, I've been out here since about 8:30 and walked one way, walked the other way. It's just past noon right now. I brought a little bottle of water. Didn't expect it to be this hot today, but here we are. All that water out there, and I can't have any of it to drink. I have been so focused on getting back to my car, maybe getting another drink, and then carrying on all the way down, kind of in front of the dome over there. You can see a little bridge, and we're gonna go to that bridge, but I forgot. The yacht club used to be right around here, and this is what it looked like. It was right on the water. Beautiful building. This building opened in 1898 out here on the western shore of Onondaga Lake, kind of near 690. It said it burned down in 1917, and then after a certain amount of time they built it across the lake over in Liverpool. We saw that in a previous video. It was really interesting that this beautiful building, obviously everything was wood back then, and it was right on the water. You can see I was just having a really nice conversation with this lady who was riding her bike all the way from the Wegmans dog park down to the Inner Harbor just for something to do, and she's taking an alternate route because this tree, which I had to go through earlier this morning, fell across the path. Looks like a lot of people have been through today. Hope the county is really good about taking care of this stuff, but obviously not the day that happens. Very nice. It's the smallest dock that I've seen on this lake. Yep, it smells like a lake out here. Yeah, it's fairly deep. Pretty sure I have the camera pointed in the right direction. That is our destination, past those birds flying. Great spot for people who want to take pictures of eagles, and then also train spotting. CSX and Amtrak go under that bridge.
A few moments later.
Surprise, it's a lot later. It's about 6 hours later. It's much cooler, and we're gonna walk that final stretch. I haven't been down here so late in the day. I also have a walking companion. You haven't been walking with me at all.
No, because it's usually Saturdays and when I'm at work.
Yeah, and it's been so lonely. So, hooray! It's not lonely.
That's
and
right.
I don't look like a fool talking to the camera by myself. I look like a fool talking to the camera with someone else here.
Yes.
So we're gonna finish our little walk. Gonna go down, way down that way, kind of just to the left of that point, center screen, you can see the bridge that they built for the Empire State Trail, and that's right in front of the dome. That's the not Carrier Dome. What is it called? JMA Dome. Whatever it's called. The dome. Little boat launch area here. Some docks. We're gonna go out this way. It's a nice, pleasant evening. We've been down here a couple times. It's actually our first big video that hit 1,000 views in like no time at all. Was when they opened this bridge down here, and the lights weren't set up or anything. Little street lights they have. So I'm just gonna kind of gloss over everything because we've been here before. I don't want to keep repeating myself in different videos. Yeah, that's about it. It's funny, the 2 other times I've been down here, it's been winter pretty much. Really cold, nothing's growing, everything's put away. And like right now, that dock out in the distance, that's out. I've never seen it in the water. Hey, caught something. Caught a little fish. Okay, there's the last of 690 that we'll be hearing. I'll go over here. There's a sign out there, environmentally sensitive area. It's doing a good job though. Here's this building with the silhouettes of the birds on it. A nice bluebird house down here, placed at the appropriate height. Bluebird's the state bird of New York. Who knew that? I did. I knew that. I always wondered what this building was. There's a poster on the side of it, Onondaga Lake Native Pollinator Garden, and they also have a rain barrel here on the side coming down from the roof. Really nice out here. This is different. Yeah, I never see this. I never see this because nothing's growing. Yeah, and here we are, and things are growing. There's that tall tree over there. It didn't have any leaves on it last time I was here, and a guy was standing in the middle of the trail taking pictures of a bald eagle that was perched up there because they just nest down around the corner. There's a nice little observation platform on this bridge that we're going to go to, and we're going to call it a video at that point. It's been a long day of walking for me. A lot of nice little benches down here. This one has a nice view. Look at this. Wow, it's like a little swampy area, like native species and stuff. Less Shrek and more Kermit, if you will. If you look up Getty's Pier, it's really kind of a dead-end search. And then also, if you look up, like I was talking about White City before, there were several parks named White City in several different cities. You know, again, named for the lights that were at that park, the electric white lights that lit up the night. That's also really difficult just to do a Google search. You kind of have to start with a website that's kind of based in Syracuse type information and then go from there. Just to reiterate where we were, where it says Pleasant Beach up here by my thumb, and then now we're down here in this lower corner, going around the corner here and over to that bridge. It's more wetlands down here. The ducks are really enjoying it.
Whoa, what is that?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god. Holy crap.
Beautiful bird.
Is that a heron?
Just ran into a gentleman down there trying to identify a bird. And he pointed out up here there's osprey nesting up there. You can kind of hear the made it down here. The first time I was down here, they were installing these lights, these light fixtures that are lit up because it's getting late. We're gonna have to like run back to the car before dark. Also, the first time I came down here, CSX was trucking on through with a full-on train. This is a great spot for bird watching and train spotting. Probably the best in the county, I would almost say, and it's pretty much in the city. Have a really, really beautiful sunset over the lake here. All the birds flying home and go roost for the night. And once we get up to the top of this bridge, we're gonna see where the eagles nest and some of the trees. They have a nice seating area up here. Everyone's hanging out, watching the birds fly in. There's the thumbnail right there. It's kind of this area that the eagles will nest. I mean, it's not their active time, but if you're into trains and birds, this is like the spot. And so this whole bridge is shaped kind of like a fish jumping out of the lake. Here's some train tracks right here. Beautiful night. Glad you guys came along with me today and with us this evening. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up down below. Again, thank you to all our subscribers for being there for us. Beautiful sunset.